So light is not our friend today, nor is the height of the tripod, nor are the weather conditions outside. It's way too hot. So we're just gonna try to adjust here a little bit. I really wish it would be easier to make standing videos, but I need my camera to be much higher than it is. If my head was here, this would be ideal. Unfortunately, my head is all the way here. Are people actually this height? Are they? I guess they are. I wanted to start this video with Hoya cards. I got a package from Patamit. Patamit has a Facebook page that you probably already know because I mentioned it a million times, and if you don't know, you're not listening. It is Hoya's Study Corner on Facebook by SC Plants, and on Instagram you can find him under the name Scream Chorus. I actually don't know if my microphone is recording. Hold on. So Patamit had sent me his previous Hoya sets, and I think last week or the week before that I received the new Hoya set, but I just did not have time to unbox it, or actually did have time to unbox it, but I did not have time to unbox it and film it for you, which is what I wanted to do. So we're gonna do that today. This is the previous box. I think we're supposed to get a new box, so some of these can fit there, but I just kind of made them all fit here. And a part of the previous set was this kind of timeline of the genus Hoya. And every time people ask me how to order these, and I always say I will leave the link in the description how you can order these. So I'm actually gonna put the link right here where you can order them. But again, the link will be in the description. You just have to kind of look through that. But you can order them by messaging Patamit on Facebook, on Instagram, or sending an email. Oh, here's the box. Okay, so this is the Hoya 4th set. What you get is the Hoya cards. This is the index, and you can see how many species are there in this set. So we have 30 species and 2 cultivars here. I actually like that in each set he includes like an informational card. In one of the sets there was the accession numbers and those letters, like what they all mean. So that's very useful information. Also, Patamit was kind enough to give me a discount code. So if you want to order these Hoyas, you can tell him that you came from the channel and you can give him the code HCPromo. It will be here, HC Promo, and you can order a set of these cards for you. That's that, and now we have some work to do. All right, so this is not an angle that I wanted, but it is the angle that you're getting because I still haven't really figured out the situation here with the potting on the floor because the big philodendrons are taking up the desk. I have to pot some cuttings from my friend Alex, and I think there are a couple of cuttings that I didn't show to you yet. So these cuttings I received a couple of weeks ago from Nina from Slovenia, and they have been just sitting in the bag with water, nothing else. They were just sprayed and put in here because I didn't have time to deal with them. I bought one by accident. I actually forgot I had it. So this is the AH041, I believe. All 3 Hoyas are stuck. Sorry, Nina, if you're watching. Let's just try to unstick the roots. So we have one lacunosa. I think this is Lacunosa Snowcap's pretty one. It rooted here but not here, but I'm gonna put it in a small cup so I can root it. This is Hoya Sarissa. I don't have that one. And this is actually ready to be potted. Again, just in a bag she put those roots. Very beautiful leaf. I think the leaf does get significantly bigger. And then this is AH041. This is the one that I have, and I didn't realize that I have because why would I? So I bought it again, and it's actually gonna go to a friend. But I am gonna pot it for her. We have in this cup, these Hoyas did not really ship well. So I put them in a cup and in a bag. This one is a thin-leaved Hoya, so that's why. This is Hoya Cisciantha Splash. And as you can see, she recovered quite well. She did lose one baby leaf, but that's not a big deal at all. And she's looking really nice. And then I have Hoya pubicalix Pink Silver Ghost, or Silver Pink Ghost, or something with a ghost, because everything is a ghost in Hoya world. And this one was dehydrated, but now it's rehydrating. If, again, camera will focus. Those top leaves do look a bit wrinkly, but again, they are rehydrating. It spent over a week in the mail and I did not expect that. So the person that I bought it from, that's Veronika on Instagram, I will leave her Instagram too, I told her you don't need to pack it in any special thing, just throw it in a bag and it will arrive to me the very next day. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. There was some issue with the delivery, not anyone's fault. And it spent a week in the post office, got returned, and had to be sent again. So, yeah, difficult buying Hoyas here, or getting Hoyas to me, I guess. It's not difficult to buy them, it's difficult to get them to me. So, let's start first with Hoya cystiantha. I wish you could somehow see this. This is just the angle that we will have to deal with. So that is gonna go into a self-watering pot. Okay, I had to put you all the way to the side so you could actually see something. This is cooked pon, and all the pon that we have right now. This is a foolish thing to do, to put Hoya Lois and Drusiana, because this is just going to need a larger pot tomorrow. But you know, why not? What we need to do now is we also will need to wash some pots. I am cleaning out my tents. I'm actually also treating my Hoyas for mites. Well, not really for mites because I don't know that they have mites, but it's like a preventative treatment that I'm doing right now with paraffin oil and abamectin. And I've been doing that for several days now. I only got through one big tent and half of the smaller one, and then the tent on top of my two tents. Their pots are filthy, so I need to take care of those. And then after I'm done with all three tents, I'm gonna do the cabinets. My two Rotstas and my one Mills bowl. All the other Hoyas, the hanging ones and the ones on the wall, have been treated 2 weeks ago. And then we will be done with the spring/summer preventative treatment. Ideally, I would like to do this once a month, but let's be real, it's a lot of work. And because my neighbor tore down his house that was right next to us and was providing some shade, I actually don't have shade in my yard, so that makes spraying the Hoyas very difficult, meaning that, you know, I just have to be very mindful and very careful, because if you're not very careful, there will be burns on your leaves. The leaves will fall off because you're spraying with oil, and if the sun touches it, well, let's say I quickly found out what happens. I mean, I kind of assumed that they would burn, and that's why I was being very careful, but apparently not careful enough, and some of them have burned. It's luckily the ones that I don't like, my Polinera, regular one, and Lobby, one of the lobbies that had ugly leaves. Actually, I think I'm restarting some of those. Actually, since we are here, let's change the angle and check on my Hoyas from my previous video that didn't arrive very well. Let's see if those have finally rehydrated. This is Hoya Pacharawalai 23. I can see that it does have some roots. The leaves are firm. It's firm in the pot. This is Noel, also rooted. It's looking better. And then the erythrostema, it's not looking good. Still very dehydrated, even though it's firmer in the pot. Is this how erythrostema is supposed to look like? Because I don't think so. Oh, the base of the plant. That's pathetic for sitting there for like 2-3 weeks. That's what you get. This one is slightly firmer in the pot, but still dehydrated, so I'm gonna leave it actually. But I will need the bottom of my Rotsta pretty soon, so I don't really know what I'm gonna do, because I will need to put something else there on the bottom. Today is Tuesday and we are continuing with our plant chores. Today I need to take care of my tent, my first grow tent. Well, actually it's not the first, but no one cares. The plants on the top of the shelves have been treated for mites. Now I need to treat the ones on the bottom. It is a preventative treatment. Now the weather hasn't been the best. It is pretty windy and it may rain any second. And of course that's not good for us, because if I spray with paraffin oil, I don't want that to be washed right away. What I think I will do is I will go through the bottom of that tent and see which of the Hoyas I want to cut back, because I have some Hoyas that need to be restarted. This is my shameful Hoya Samamaniana. I'll restart this. I don't really know why. But I have a couple of Hoyas that look like that, and just some Hoyas that I'm not really a fan of how I trellis them. And that's because they're just way too big. So I think I will take a look at some of those and see what can be cut back. We have Hoya mitrata in bloom in here. And I just took out a pubicorolla. I got this as pink dragon, but this is not the correct way to call this plant. This is Pubicorolla subspecies Antrachina. That peduncle is actually broken, and I have Pubicorolla 1011 right next to it. This is a lovely dark Pubicorolla. Pretty similar there. So I'm gonna take Hoyas from my grow tent. Again, I have some that are not doing really well. So what is this? This is Hoya thuathienhuensis, which for whatever reason never really thrived, which is an understatement. It's a very, very big understatement. And then I have some Hoyas that froze, like my Hoya subquintuple. I'm gonna make a cut probably here and root this as a new plant. It lost all of the leaves. I left it outside for way too long, essentially. This philodendron I also need to cut because I didn't put it on a pole, and now it's just not gonna look nice if I do. This is from my friend Alex, and he did give me the green light to propagate it and cut it, so I shall do that. Not today. Now I have this very, very wild and big Hoya densifolia. It's just insane and crazy. So I will see if I can kind of trellis it differently. I'm not gonna keep this plant for much longer, to be honest. It's a nice Hoya, I like it, but it's just such a fast grower that I don't have space for. Now I have my verticillata EPC 997. This is Staples Pink Spot Splash. That was a bit of a stroke there. This needs to be repotted to something that is not semi-hydro. So I think I will do pond and self-watering. I actually do have another of these. Now this is the one that I really hate. This one got way too big, so I trellised it. It is a Hoya Nicholsoni, and as you can see, none of those have given us any leaves. So I'm gonna be very, very, very radical when cutting this. Oh, by the way, I did a Hoya count. I finished last night. Essentially, I'm planning to do something which I cannot discuss here at this moment for several reasons. But I had to do a Hoya count and make a Hoya list. And I found out that I have, what was it, 295 Hoyas. And I actually have one on the way. I always thought I was actually at the 300, but clearly not yet. I did not count some of the ones that you have just seen that are not doing well. So this is just long vine. There's nothing on it. So I'm gonna cut that. I am done with letting Hoyas grow like that. This is not nature. They may grow like that in nature, but if they didn't notice, we are not in Thailand. We do not support that kind of growth any longer. Now this is one that I want to restart. This is just my enemy. It hates me. This I got from Camilla. It is species Sumatra IML 1012. It made a weird leaf here, and it made this long vine, and that vine died back. So we are just in the cycle of growing and dying back constantly. So not gonna have that here. And then, you know, it made this leaf, and look at that. Something is very wrong. I think it's not liking the pond. I think that is the issue, because this is just not normal. And it looks to me like some nutrient imbalance, and I just cannot get it right. Oh great, you're stuck. This one is fine. This is verticillata that was formerly known as Vibergiae. I don't have any beef with this one. It's the one that I don't have any beef. It's a beautiful plant, but it needs a different pot and a different trellis. I want to repot all of my verticillatas and put them all in the tent that is above these. I just need to buy a lot of self-watering pots, and I don't want to spend the money. This one is usually called species Laos. I want to repot this one. You know, it's a verticillata, an ugly trellised verticillata that could look much nicer if I had put in more effort, which we're doing now. This is a plant that also grows really well. It is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful splashy crusty petiolata from my friend Ferah. Focus is out for a break. Oh, don't fall out. It could be repotted simply so I can put it on a bigger trellis. This is another one that I kind of messed up with trellising, so I'm actually going to fix that now. It is Hoya Ruthier. I have lost my scissors. I don't know if this happens to anyone. I talk to you and I lose my scissors billion times. So it is growing right now from what I can tell, and doing so fairly okay. I do see some mite damage, so we are not a fan. Also, what is the accent mural? It's a bit of a confusing trellising system that we went for here. Choices were made. What the heck was done there? I do like this plant. I'm just very unclear what I did there with the trellising. This plant has not bloomed for me yet. I honestly cannot wait to see Hoya Ruthie in bloom. I do think it had a peduncle somewhere, but it must have dried off and fell. It's actually a pretty good grower once it gets going, once you kind of establish what it wants, and for me that has been the high humidity. This is the yellow Elagiorum, very dehydrated, has not bloomed yet, probably because I don't water it, but that one also should be repotted. Now this is a plant that always threatens to bloom and it never does. I got this as Hoya Griffithii, but it's not a Hoya Griffithii. It is a Hoya that is pretty difficult to trellis. It's very stiff vine that is very unyielding. I think this is the one that people circulate as Hoya species India. I think my friend Julie sent me some photos of her leaves, like the close-up of the leaves, and they look exactly the same. And they're pubescent. It's definitely not Griffithii, but I think it will take more time or cooler temperatures to get this one to bloom. This is Hoya vangviengiensis, and it's finally growing. It's one of my most favorite Hoyas, but unfortunately it just stopped performing as I wanted it to. I think it got a really bad case of mites there for a moment. I will definitely treat it now, and I think I will trim it back because I do see some vines that are pretty bare, but I love it. I love that veining there. It's just such a unique Hoya. It's very fuzzy. It's very firm. Leaf is very thick, something that you should definitely have. Two next Hoyas are probably the worst examples of trellising in the Hoya world. This is the Hoya caudata with big green leaf. I just don't like how I don't know what to do. I think I need to cut it back. It just looks a bit messy here. I liked it more when it was hanging, and then I thought I could improve it by putting it on a trellis. I have not improved it. It's an okay plant. I don't dislike it. I like Hoya caudata, but really made a mess with that one. The last one that is also an absolute mess and one of the worst examples in Hoya trellising is this Hoya Finlaysoni nova. I have two of these, and I think it's time to get rid of one. They are pretty big, both of them, or do just something to make sense out of this plant. It's just trying to contain it isn't working. What I think I will do is I will just take them out, shower them, water them, and spray them, and then I need to wash these pots, so I will, kind of separate them from the pots as well, which is going to be a challenge, and bring them in. We are outside today and it is very sunny, so I cannot spray my plants, but we can wash the pots. I have a lot of pots to wash. By the way, we have a beautiful clematis here. This used to belong to my grandmother. I think it was put here in the ground in the 80s. It obviously had ups and downs and stuff, but it's a Very beautiful plant. There used to be also bigger fig tree, or actually the same fig tree that you can see here. We have about 5 or 6 of those here in the yard, but what was I gonna say about the fig? Yeah, it was huge when I was a kid. It was a huge fig tree, and then my dad chopped it all down because he likes to chop stuff. I don't know. Did I have to show you this clematis? This is the one that I bought a couple of years back. It's not in a great shape, but I love it. I just love the flower. I think it's so unique. Unfortunately, it's next to this rose that's not looking so great. But these are also pretty old roses. They have been here for 30 years at least. And my dad planted them in shade and never treats them. This is another clematis I bought. I don't know what this one is. I was quite sure this one died, but I guess not. So I still have 2. Welcome to the most riveting footage on YouTube. This is what plant care is about. This. It is not some nice slow-mo footage of doing plant chores. No. It is washing the pots outside in heat under the sun, and it's the most boring task, and I have all of these pots to wash. I'm not gonna clean the rest of the pots that I have because there's like a lot of them, hundreds of pots like these. I'm just gonna set an entire week for that to clean out my storage with pots, nursery pots, pots like these, terracotta pots, potting mixes used and unused. And I'm not gonna record that probably because it really would be the most riveting footage on YouTube. I fear it will become too viral, and you know, I don't think we're just ready for that yet. I'm going to separate these inner shelves. I have to do this with a knife because great design of these pots, bringing me in contact with sharp tools. I have 47 pots to wash. If anyone tells you that plant care is fun all the time, they are a liar and they're not your friend. Just putting that out there. It's time to get to this, I guess. See, I tried to romanticize this part of the video because that is clearly what is very popular on the internet, but one cannot really romanticize washing of pots. However, I can tell you that my hose attachment did manage to break and I had to go out and buy a new one, and you will see later that the hose mafia decided to be against me, and I think this is really unfair. I think this is probably the best shot here, and it turns out you cannot turn my pots into my humps, and that is a very disappointing discovery. Alright, sun is down a bit, and I can start taking the Hoyas from my Ratsta cabinet in the back. Because I'm spraying my Hoyas with a combination of paraffin oil and abamectin, it's a combination of the two. I don't want the rain to wash it off right away. We do want it to be effective a bit. So I'm gonna start just with one cabinet, and I think we can do both today, but I'm not really sure. So I will take them out. I need to wash those pots as well. So I'm gonna give the Hoyas a quick shower, wash the pots, fill the pots with watering stuff, and then put them back in. And if we have time, I may even clean the cabinets, but I don't think I will. It would be great because they do need to be cleaned, but I just don't think the weather will be working in our favor that long. All right, I just want to take care of one more thing, and that is this window. I have decided to take care of both of my windows and put Hoyas in there. So this one is still empty. Well, it's not empty. It has Hoya obovata and the new plant I will show you later. But we're going to have Hoyas there. I have started to put Hoyas on top of my Ratsta. Some of these need to be repotted, but again, something to discuss later. This philodendron, which is an anthurium, not a philodendron, is going to be moved so it's hanging above the Hoyas on the wall, similar to how my philodendron, which is an actual philodendron, Bilietiae, hangs. On top of my cabinets, I have put my Anthurium forgeti in crystallinum and my Araucaria. I am going to retire that Hoya wall, and I'm going to put a couple of Hoyas here so they kind of cascade over the cabinet, making it impossible for me to open it, which I am going to regret. And then some small Hoyas are going to go here, and I think I'm going to leave the bottom as is. I just turned on my camera and there is a wedding. Wedding in Serbia means that there will be a whole, like a envoy of cars, and they're all gonna beep, beep, beep with their car horns, whatever. And shout. Let's just wait for the wedding to pass us. Who gets married at 6? This is the last day of the vlog, and I have to say that I did not achieve everything that I wanted to achieve, which is no surprise because my plans are always very realistic. One thing that I have actually purposefully avoided is counting how many pots I will need to buy, and that's because I know it's gonna be like $200 for pots. I need like 40 or something self-watering pots, and I'm just avoiding that. I'm avoiding to deal with that. We have Hoyas here that will go in my window, in one of the windows, and I don't think it will be so easy to show me repotting them. So the candidates are Hoya Loki, which is absolutely huge, in my opinion at least. I repotted it in one of the videos that I was recording, but I never uploaded because it looked like a trash raccoon. It's not much different than today, but whatever. And it's quite big. This is 6-liter pot. I don't know how many centimeters is that, but it's big. It's a big pot. And it's a big Hoya. I would say it's about half a meter tall. Now we have 3 multifloras and one Hoya that I got from Camilla last year is Praetori, but this is now Lasiantha. And it is grown, but not much, I think. I mean, it was a 1-note 2-leaf cutting, so, you know, it did grow. But I think it would have grown a whole lot more if I watered it more, which I didn't. Now, this is Multiflora EPC 124. Pretty nice, big Hoya. Something I also got with Praetori, or now Lasiantha. So I don't know. I feel this one grew very nicely. It's a multiflora with really long leaves, kind of narrow and long. I actually do like those. And then I have a plant that it's a couple of years old now. I bought it in 2021 if I am not mistaken. This is Multiflora SV406, and it's the one that kind of has more orangey flowers. And unfortunately, it always drops some of those flowers for me because I just never water it on time. They're very, very nice. I really like this plant. I just never get to see a lot of the flowers on this one. Some of these leaves are very interesting. It did not have these leaves when it arrived. They were more regular, but some of them are really ruffled now. It's very, very pretty, actually. So I would say this is one of my most the slowest, that's the word mirror, the slowest multifloras. So I don't actually cut this one ever. The plan is that I'm gonna put it in this massive pot. This is 5-liter pot, self-watering pot, and I'm planning to put 2 Hoyas in here. So this multiflora, and then the opposite of this branch to kind of create balance in the pot, we're gonna put this one. Gonna be a mistake because it's gonna be way too big. And potting mix that I like to use for Hoyas that are thin-leaved is just cocoa peat and perlite. And by thin-leaved, maybe that's a wrong thing to say because I do grow my Hoya medinellifolia in a different mix, which I have discussed. That's also thin-leaved Hoya. But that one is a bit more finicky. These easy ones like Loki, Multiflora, Lasiantha, or if you have Praetori, that's now Lasiantha. Those are fine in cocoa peat and perlite for me. I am gonna break apart the root ball just a bit so we can kind of establish the normal growth pattern. This is actually a good idea to always kind of, with all the plants, to kind of, you know, break apart that shape that they create when they are in a pot for way too long. This is what that looks like. I'm gonna try to put it off to one side. We're gonna fix that. And this one is dry as a bone. Even though it was watered a couple of days ago, it's so dry. It's such a small pot. All right, that one has a small root system. Actually, they fit really well. I think this is the look that we're gonna go for. I think that looks fine. It's gonna go well in the window. I don't think this is actually the way I wanted to do it. I wanted this one to go over this one. I'm gonna fix it. Dang it. That's not better, is it? Okay, well, we are done trying. Gonna look normal in the window, and that's all I care about. Failure number 1 completed. No. Let's do the inner variegated one. That one is gonna go in this see-through pot. It's basically the same concept, I think, of the pot. I assume soon this plant will need a bigger pot, but oh, that's already too small. You know what? I'm gonna convince myself that this is an upgrade, even though it doesn't look like one, because I am putting it in self-watering. Okay, that's okay. It's not a big upgrade, but it's okay. And the last one is actually gonna be an upgrade for this Praetori, or Lasiantha. I should make a new tag. This one was in bloom when we started recording this video this week. No longer in bloom. That is all for this week. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and let me know what are the tasks that you accomplished this week, or just throughout watching this video. I would like to know. When the summer comes, there are really a lot of plant chores to do. Not a great fan over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And check out Patamit's Hoya cards. You can contact him on Instagram, Screen Chorus. You can contact him on Facebook, Hoya Study Corner by SC Plants, or via email. And you can use the code on the screen somewhere. Editing Miro, put the code so people know, and you will get a discount. That is that. I'm gonna go and clean up and just, oh, there's a lot of dirt under my nails. Gonna clean that out. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon. Goodbye. Hold on. I forgot to show you the plant I bought. I've been wanting this for a year or so. This is Ficus shiveriana, and I love it. It's probably not gonna make it here. I already see 2 baby leaves dropping, so that's fine. Oh, a third one. We expected that, but very pretty. But anyways, this is the actual ending, so goodbye. I would like to take some time to thank my patrons. A massive shout out to my $5 patrons. My 3 anonymous patrons, Alex von Siebenthal, Anne-Margaret Moyne, Angela Bernard, Angela Parrish, and C. Ashley Hoyas, Becky Higgins, Beth Gibson, Betsy, Catherine Molina, Danube Daniels, Daria Kaminska, Deanne Sikorsky, Ferah, Gina Geise, Go Green Tropical, Heather Uppingham, Hoji Scott, Hausman, Heather, Hoya Heather, Yana Griffin, Jessica Chio, Jovan Denot, Kara, Casey Gross, Kelly Koo, Kelso, Kristen Sherwood, LePlan de Steph, Mandy Milliken, Marcel Har, Mars B, Martina, Alif Perday, Marty Miller, Mary Rose, Melissa Walker, Michael Curley, Nicole Ferranti, Mirka Grun Roos, Moa Edmond, Naily Yang, Neha Basu, Nicole Moreau, Nicole and Caleb of Schlieve Tropicals, Nita Macy, PJ, Plan Druid, Rachel Peterson, Robin L. Jennings, Silo Medal, Sherry Kumar, Stephanie H2O, Sybil Williams, Tanya, Tessa Martins, The Swedish Hoya Dude, Tia B, TJWO, Wendy Foreman, Wendy Rossman, Youth of the Wallamuts, Zordarama, and Zlakov Niponi. Also, a big thank you to my $3 patrons: Angelina Farnan, Anna K, Brenda Little, Brana Phillips, Kilone, Christina Greengrass, Claudia L, Fluffy Blue Sheep, Jerry's Garden, Lisa Helling, Morgan Kennedy, Nella, Plan Druid, Plantalenia, Ringlov, and Tangwatanas Riakul. Also, thank you to my $1 patrons: Kari, Constance, Couture Helvetica, Emilia Bronson, Jacinta, Jolie Sullivan, Kayla Vavra, Lauren M, Lori Ann Subramaniam, Luzman Fernandez, Neely Spicer, and Olivia Chainmuller. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, even though there were some boring parts, like the washing of the pots, which is just endless. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you soon.